Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to illustrate this item in Photoshop. Let's get cracking. For those of you who are new to this channel, let me introduce myself. People call me Crafty, and I'm a motion graphics designer creating animated ads, but I occasionally end up doing some animations and art for tabletop RPGs, and that's what ends up being uploaded here. If that's something that interests you, make sure to like my videos, subscribe to this channel and click that bell icon to turn on all the notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Doing that helps this channel grow and lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. This item, the Flailing Cloak, is one of the setting-specific items featured in my upcoming D&D and Pathfinder supplement, the Nowhere Emporium. I know, a cloak should cover your whole body, but hey, first, it's a working title, and second, it's fantasy. Give me a break. Anyway, unlike the previous setting-specific items, this one is not tied to the Nowhere tree, a host of the Nowhere Emporium. This is one of the weaponized clothes made by the seamstress, one of the traders in the Emporium. And it's considered a piece of clothing until you learn a dressed combatant feat that lets you use it as a weapon. We thought that something like that would be an interesting concept to add to a tabletop role-playing game. On to the tutorial part of this video. As usual, I started off with a physical sketch in my sketchbook, created the outline in Photoshop and filled it with neutral gray as a base color. I already said in my previous video that using neutral gray for a base is a bad idea. If you want to know why, click on the card in the upper right corner and hear my reasoning behind it, or simply wait until the end of this video to get a link to it. Otherwise, you can still find it in the description below. Moving on. I then slapped on some brush strokes and smudged a bit until I got something that resembles a cloak or a cape-like drapery. I rendered out the bludgeoning weight on the bottom as a very crude and heavy metal piece, but the brooch that holds the cloak together needed to look a bit more fancy. So I rendered it out as a golden piece of jewelry with a nice emerald at the center of it. I thought that it was a nice contrast to the rest of the item, both in color and in texture. And just to finish off the look, I used a photo of a cloth to make it appear just a little more realistic. And speaking of realistic, I usually tend to polish the items I create for the Nowhere Emporium with an off-white bluish rim light coming from the bottom left. That's what I did here as well, but because the light, in this case, is hitting a piece of textile, instead of using brush strokes to render it, I rather dabbed the stylus against the screen using chalk brush to create an uneven look, kinda showing that the material is a woven fabric. Anyways, now that I gave you an idea on how I created this item, I'll let you enjoy the music by Nomyn and the rest of the Photoshop illustration process until the final image reveal, where I quickly animated the item to give you an idea on how it moves in real life. Well, not like it exists in real life, but you get what I mean. If you enjoy my content so far, let me remind you to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and turn on all the notifications. And if you feel generous enough, do consider sharing it with someone who might be interested in learning something from this process. I appreciate you doing that for me. Now let me do something for you. If you're into tabletop RPGs, do visit my website craftytabletop.com and go to the download section. You'll find some freebie supplements and game content there. And of course, if you have any questions about the process, techniques or anything else, don't hesitate to write a comment and ask away. This is Crafty, and I bid you farewell.